All right, guys, welcome to another section in our video recording. So today we're going to be solving problems on linear equation, but this time with absolute value. Okay, so before we even start talking about absolute value, I think it makes sense for me to tell you what linear equation is all about. You know, when you solve math problem where the unknown variable is having the power 1, that is linear. So for instance, if I have u plus 3 is equal to 4, for instance, or maybe I have maybe like u squared plus 5 plus 5 equal to 7, or maybe I have 3u equal to maybe 7. Now let's examine these three cases. Now look at the first one. What's the unknown variable in this first equation? It is u. What's the power of u? It is 1. Remember, when the variable is having no power, it's already having the power 1. So you can see when you have the power 1 for the variable, that makes it linear. Okay, now look at the case 2. Case 2, what's the unknown variable here? It is u. And what's the power of u? It is 2. So because it is 2, it is not linear. This is not linear, but you can want to call it quadratic. Okay, it's quadratic. Now look at case 3. What's the unknown variable here? It is u. What's the power of u? It is 1. So this one too is also linear. So that is linear. So when you have the unknown variable having the power 1, it is a linear equation if it's having equality sign, or linear expression if it's not having equality sign. Okay, so now let's talk about absolute value. Absolute value is a nice guy. I mean, if you just put what absolute value does is an operator, is a mathematical operator that converts every real number to a positive real number, if that makes sense. So for instance, if I have absolute value of 5, the result is going to be 5. If I have absolute value of minus 3, the result is going to be minus 3. If I have absolute value of minus 10, the result is going to be 10. Oh, sorry. This second one, the result is going to be plus 3. Sorry about that. The absolute value, you take away the negative side, so it's become positive, okay? So if you put a positive number, you get positive. When you put a negative number, you get positive. When you put a negative number, it's still going to be positive. So, that means absolute value can never give you a negative result. For instance, if I have absolute value of x plus 3 equal to minus 5. Young men, ladies and gentlemen, this problem have no solution. Why? Because absolute value cannot give you a negative result. It can't give you a negative result. Okay? So it has no solution. There are some, when I teach GRE classes, right? There's some problems you want to do in the GRE. You'll be like absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to like 5x, okay? Then minus 5x. I mean, so for this thing to be true, the x has to be negative to nullify the negative on 5. So this is not where I'm going to. This is like for bigger classes like GRE and the rest of them. So guys, you get what I mean? So absolute value can never give us a negative result, if that makes sense. Good. Now let's start doing the practice problem. So we'll do like about 4 or 5 questions here, and we'll be off from this class. So the first one, I have absolute value of x equal to 8. Now, since you know that whatever is inside of this absolute value, whether it's positive or negative, we're still going to get 8. So if x is negative, I mean, if x is positive, for instance, we're still going to get 8. And if x is negative, we're still going to get 8. So it doesn't matter what x is, whether it's positive or negative. I mean, the sign does not really affect the result because the absolute value takes care of everything. So if x is positive, it's still going to be 8. If x is negative, it's still going to be 8. So, but here we need to solve further and remove the negative from x to get what x really is by dividing everybody by -1. So x is equal to -8. So these are the two possible solutions we have. Let's see if that's correct. So when I plug in x to be 8, in this absolute value, that will be absolute value of, let's do it right here. Absolute value of 8, is it equal to 8? Yes, it's equal to 8. So if I plug in x to be -8, let's see, absolute value of -8, is it equal to 8? Yes, it's equal to 8. So you see, 8 and -8 is a solution because when you put these values of x into this absolute value, you still get 8. Is it true? Perfect. Let's go to the next question. Question 2, we have absolute value of n equal to 7. Like I told you, absolute value will always break into two equations because if n is positive, we're still going to get 7. If n is negative, we're still going to get 7. So for this, we have a solution, n is equal to 7. And for this, you know, when you divide everybody by -1, n will be equal to -7. That's the two solutions we have. And let's see if that works. If we put 7 here, absolute value of 7 will still give us 7. If we put -7 here, absolute value of -7 will still give us 7. You see, that makes sense, right? Perfect. Now let us do something a little bit challenging. Let's do question 5. We have absolute value of 5 plus 8a is equal to 53. Okay? Sorry, this is 53, not 63. I have to clean that up real quick. 53. Good. Now, like I said, absolute value always give us two equations. When whatever is inside the absolute value is positive, we'll get 53. When it's negative, we get negative 53 as well. So if this guy inside the absolute value is positive, 5 plus 8a, we're still going to get 53. And when it is negative, you see what I mean? I put it in bracket like a negative 5 plus 8a, we're still going to get 53. Now you see, it's now left for us to solve this linear equation. You want to subtract 5 from both sides. And when you do that, you'll be having 8a is equal to, not this guy now, this 48, right? 48. So divide everybody by 8, and a should be equal to 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times a should be 6. A is 6, right? Now let's solve the other equation. You distribute with the negative sign, the negative 1 right outside. So negative times 5 is negative 5. And you have negative 8a equal to 53, right? Now you want to add 5 to everybody, to both sides, I mean. So this cancels out. So you have negative 8a is equal to 53 plus 5. That would give us 58, right? Correct. So the next thing you want to do I have negative 8a outside? Okay, yeah, I have negative 8a outside. So now the next thing we want to do now is we divide everybody by 8, right? Perfect. So we divide everybody by 8. So that would be by negative 8. So that would be this upon negative 8. So finally, this cancels out. So a is equal to 58 over negative 58 over 8, okay? But can we still reduce this to the lowest term? I think we can still do that. Let's see if we can do that somewhere here and bring the answer right over there. So of course, I know 2 can divide. If 2 divide 8, I'll be having 4. And if 2 divide 5, I should have 2 remainder 1. And 2 times 9 is 18. So I have 29 over here. So this is like 29 over 4. So A is going to be negative 29 over 4. Okay? Now, this is the values of A. Now, let us see if this answer is correct. So let's plug in this value and see if we are going to get 53. So let's start with the first one, when A is equal to 6. So if I put in A equal to 6, I have 5 plus 8. Instead of writing A, I write 6, right? Let us see if that will give us 53. Let us see if that will give us 53. So that will be 8 plus, that will be 5 plus, 5 plus, 8 times 6 is going to be 48, right? And 48 plus 5 will give us 53. Right? Correct. Correct. That's correct. So A is correct. Good. Now let us try the other one when A is negative 29 over 4. So we put that here. We put negative 29 upon 4, right? Let's see if that will give us 53. So of course, this 4 can take care of this guy. 4 divided 8, you have 2. So 2 times negative 29, that would give us negative 58, right? Perfect. Now, what do we have? 5 minus 58. 5 minus 58, that will give us minus 53. And absolute value of minus 53 is 53. You see, these two answers for A, they are just very correct. You see, that is how it works. Now, let's do one more question and let's do one more question. I would like us to do question 15 because it's look quite different from the other ones. It looks quite different from the other ones. Let's do that one. If you understand how to do question 15, then you should know how to do 17 as well. So let's do 15. 15 is negative 7 absolute value of negative 3 minus 3r, and that is equal to negative 21. Oh, wait for a moment. I told you absolute value can give us a negative result, right? But let's see if we get rid of the negative 7 right over here, and if we still have negative result, then there will be no solution. Now, the first we want to do is to get rid of the negative 7 in our left-hand side. So you want to divide everybody by negative 7 like this, so that these guys will go away from here. So I'm having negative 3 minus 3r is equal to, now this negative cancel out, 21 upon 3, 21 upon 7 is just 3. Now you can see now that, oh, this is good. So we can have a solution here because absolute value always give us a positive result. Now, like I told you, absolute value will break into two solutions, right? Into two equations. When the quantity is positive and when it's negative, you still get the absolute value, 3. So when we have negative 3r equal to 3, and when it is negative, like negative 3r is negative, and that's going to give us 3. You understand what I mean? When you put this quantity as positive, you're still going to get 3, and when it's even negative, you're still going to get 3. Like I said earlier, when you put 5 to be positive, you're still going to get 5. When you put 5 to be negative, you're still going to get 5. So we take advantage of those two possibilities. So now you simplify this one further. You add 3 to both sides. And now you get this cancel out. You have negative 3r is equal to 6, right? And you divide everybody by negative 3 like that, and r is equal to negative 2. First answer gotten. Now let's do the other one. So you distribute with the negative, so you kind of have 3 plus 3r equal to 3. And now you subtract 3 from both sides like that, and you'll be having 3r equal to 0. And you divide everybody by 3, and r is equal to 0. So these are the two possible solutions, right? Let's see if that's correct. Remember, this is our what they call it now, the absolute value we're looking at. Okay, you can also work with this, fine, but this is the refined one. This thing also work, but let's use the refined one. So we have negative 3 r. Is it going to give us 3? So when r is 0, of course, when r is 0, that's the first one I want to start with. So you get like minus 3. If r is 0 here, this will be minus 3 times 0. Let's see if that will give us 3. So this cancel out. Then you have absolute value of negative 3, which is going to be 3. So that is correct. When r is 0 is correct. So when r is negative 2, you have negative 3 minus 3 times negative 2 like that. And you have negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 2 will give us positive 6. And negative 3 plus 6 will give us 3. And absolute value of 3 is 3. So the two answers are correct. So that's about solving absolute value problem. If you need more, like you need more solution, you need us to solve more problems in this particular question, kindly let us know in the comment section. And of course, we are going to do well to help you solve this problem. Let me see if I'll do one more. Okay, maybe I'll make another video where I will solve this kind of problem, like the one you see in 31, 33, like that. We'll do another video for that. So, but now let's just stop here and call it a day. See you in the next class. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that so that whenever we go live on YouTube or Facebook, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you for watching to this very point in time. I'll see you in the next class. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Bye-bye.